Yo, guys, what's going on? Fantasy got some extra collectibles and they got a new set, which leads the question, what set of BNDs do we open? What do we go for? What are we looking for? And which one should we spend our 2 sets of 16 collectibles on? The panel behind me, I will get to in a minute. Let's go look at the sets, and then let's look at the cards and what, we should be doing, because it's all about odds, right? Let's get into it. I hope you do enjoy it. So the sets came out, 16 collectibles for a Pacific player, 16 collectibles for Central, Metro, and Atlantic. So you can get 2 because they give us 32 collectibles if you earn them. So which 2 do you want to do here? What are the ones you should do? Because you could hold out and hopefully they give you more collectibles and you can choose the player you want. But in my opinion, even if they gave us enough collectibles to choose the player you want, chances are 2 fantasy cards is probably better than 1, at least in my opinion. But that's if you give yourself the best odds of getting a fantasy card that could get it to a 99. So let's talk about which ones you should avoid and which ones you should get after. Because there is one set that I don't think you want to do. When it comes to fantasy, the first thing you got to look at is, 1, are the cards usable now? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to look all the way at the bottom here. These cards probably aren't usable. But after a handful of goals and a couple of months, they could be. But as of right now, they're not usable. The most usable cards as of right now would have to be on this top 8. Your Liljegren, your Beauvilliers, Taylor Hall, Palat, Gallagher, Chytil, Lindell, and Pion. Now, what are the best cards to hit 99? Well, if you look here, Gallagher has a very good shot at getting to 99. Lindell is probably a lock at 99. Dylan Cousins isn't usable now, but I am a huge fan of this Dylan Cousins card getting to 99. Pavel Zacha could be good. Could he get 99? That's kind of a wait and see. Same with Bjorkstrand and Morgan Riley. That's an iffy one that I'm not a huge fan of. But if Morgan Riley gets 9 goals, we could be laughing. So with that being said, this Atlantic set is a very good one for 3 reasons. Dylan Cousins, Anton Lindell, and Brandon Gallagher. I think all 3 of those guys are, I'd say Lindell is a lock at a 99, and I would say Gallagher and Cousins are very good shots at 99. So that leaves you with 3 of 8 players that are going to get to a 99, and the other ones are still very good, so they'll probably get into the 90s, into the mid 90s, maybe even the high 90s, and yes, they do have a chance of reaching 99, but 3 out of 8 in the Atlantic, I'm pretty sure are solid 99s. Now, Beauvillier, he starts so high, how could you not think 15 goals could be heading his way? Same with Andre Palat. That is Andre Palat, Taylor Hall, injury-based, but Andre Palat, Taylor Hall, and Beauvillier are all solid selections. And then you throw in Alex Lafreniere, which probably is going to be the first 99, or at least he's like Anton Lindell. He's a guaranteed 99, and he'll probably be, if it went over 99, right, I would think Lafreniere would exceed 99. But we've got a 99 here in Lafreniere. Barzal, if he could get 20 goals, we're laughing. He's only done 21 plus once in his career, but he will probably do 20. So eventually, I think he gets up to 99. It just might take a while. James Van Riemsdyk is kind of a wash. Sean Couturier, I don't know how that's going to go, so that's hit or miss, but that's only 2. That is only 2 out of the entire Metro that you're nervous about. So I think you're pretty much locked and you're solid to go with the Metro. So between the East, I say the Metro has more odds of more players reaching 99. And in the Atlantic, it gives you those 3 players that are studs. So you could take the 3 players and maybe hit 5 that are, iffy, but probably going to be over the 90s. Or you could take the Metro, which you are hitting a big one pretty much. Like, you're talking about 5-6 cards that are pretty solid. So your odds of the Metro are the highest out of this entire list. But before we jump to the Pacific, let's talk about the worst one. Other than Neil Pion, which I think Neil Pion's going to be a 99. I think he hits 99. But other than Neil Pionk, I am not a fan of pretty much anyone else in the Central. Devon Toews, Brady Shea, they start so low. Yes, they're defensemen and they get to go up by 2, but they start so low. It's so scary to throw everything in on one of these two guys. Or at least if you pull the Central and you get one of these two guys, you're nervous that this isn't going to go well for you. Jamie Benn, that's just an unfortunate situation right there. So you do not want Jamie Benn. Spurgeon, you're hoping that he doesn't get hurt. If he doesn't get hurt, maybe he does well. But again, already 4 of some of the very lowest cards are not great. And then Braden Shen's got to be just the unsexiest pick that you could ever have. So you're not really excited about that. So the Central is very bad in my opinion. The only one that I'm truly excited about is Neil Pionk. Even, Burakovsky could be good, but that's a dice roll on how Chicago does. Neil Pionk is the only one in the Central, which means for me, I will not be touching the Central set. I will just be leaving that there. Terrible names. They don't excite me. And all of the lower end cards have a long way to go. So they're just out for me. Now on to the Pacific, which for me is the third on the list. I'm getting my 32 collectibles. I'm going 1 Atlantic and 1 Metro. And I'm hoping for Lindell. And I'm hoping for Lafreniere maybe. He'd be a good one to pull. But in the Pacific, they got Timothy Liljegren. People have been really down on Liljegren, and I don't know why. In training camp right now, he's on the top pairing. He's on the second power play unit. Last year, he played 67 games, got 102 shots, got 6 goals. If he does that again, you're happy with that card. I don't know why people are down on him, but they're down on him. Do you want to roll a Pacific set for Liljegren? Absolutely not. With how cheap he is on the market, you would be better off buying this card and using your 16 collectibles somewhere else. Because this Liljegren card is 520,000 coins on the market right now. You do not want to waste your collectibles when you can just go buy him for that price. And then we got Philip Hedl, solid selection. He could do very well, and I think he will get 99. If he doesn't get 99, you're looking at 97, 98. So that's a very good card there. Mangiapane, it all depends on usage. That is such a random thing that I'm not huge on it. It could be big for you, or it could be a big miss. So I'm not going to say like that. That's why the Pacific for me is third, because the Atlantic and the Metro, one, I watch the East more, so I want players from that division. But the Atlantic and the Metro have so many good cards that could be great hits, and they have less of that question mark. And Mangiapane has a question mark on him. Same with Blake Coleman. And then obviously Killorn. I mean, what is that? I'm not excited about Killorn at all. And then when it comes to Kuzmenko, man, they're really banking on this card taking a step up. I don't even think this card gets into 90s, to be honest with you. That is really far down the list for him to pan out. So if you hit Kuzmenko, if you hit Killorn, if you hit Mangiapane, you are really not happy. And that's why this is third on my list. Because if you hit anybody from the Atlantic, if you hit anybody from the Metro, you're fine, right? There might be some cards that you're like, ooh, are they going to get there? But for the most part, you're okay. The Pacific and the Central, there is cards in there that if you hit, you are down bad. So in my opinion, the Metro and the Atlantic are where you want to be. And in a perfect world, when you pick the Metro and the Atlantic, you get maybe Taylor Hall, Alexis Lafreniere, but you definitely want Lindell. If you get lucky and you get Lindell, that's a home run. Lafreniere and Lindell would be the 2 if you won the lottery. So Metro, Atlantic, that's the way I'm going. Leave in the comment section down below, guys, which way you guys are going and who you are picking and who you're hoping for, right? It's not about always who the best card is. If you are a New Jersey Devils fan, you want Palat. You want your guy. You want to watch and have fun, right? So who are you going for? Which set are you building? Leave that in the comment section down below, guys. I can't wait to see it. But until next time, thanks for watching, and ciao, ciao.